Hey everyone, Kerry Waldy here, back again discussing the profound theology and philosophy in common Christmas carols, and this has to be one of my all-time favorites. Oh Holy Night. It's such a profound song. It doesn't get sung a lot because the vocal range is just brutal, but those who can pull it off are amongst the best singers in the world, and it is such a very deep and touching song. It was penned by a Frenchman who was asked by a priest to write a poem on the occasion of the dedication of a new organ in the church. But he was a one-handed atheist poet who wrote the words of this song. His hand was shot off by a friend in a shooting accident when he was younger. But even though he wasn't really a religious person, the words that he wrote are absolutely amazing. And it's interesting, on the materialistic or atheistic worldview, they don't make any sense. They only make sense within the Christian context. Placide Cappeau wrote these words: "O holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appear and the soul felt its worth." Now, first of all, I didn't really understand what it meant to be in error pining. And once I realized and looked it up, how important that word is, it means a mental and emotional decline or suffering a broken heart. And even though he's an atheist, he got this right, that sin brings that wreckage into the world. But what I really think is important is this last phrase here, that Jesus appeared. When he appeared, and then the soul felt its worth. Wow. So many people are agonizing in their lives, looking for where they fit and where they matter. Everybody's looking for a face to look at them and say, you matter to me, you're valuable. And everyone's looking for a place where they can belong and they can feel a part, where they can feel worthy of love or worthy of making a difference. And he points out here that in our sin, in our wreckage, in our heartbreak, we often lose the sense of what it means to be valuable. Now, how is it that through Christ the soul feels its worth? Well, let's just look at basic economics. What is it that causes something to be valuable? I have here my wife's first wedding ring. And I say first because after a few years, she wanted an upgrade. And I'll just point this out. I was kind of hesitant for a while, but then she said, well, I have two daughters and I don't want them fighting over the only wedding ring I have. And so, and plus this is gold, and she wanted a white gold. So those pushed me over the edge, and I got her a new one. Anyway, what makes this valuable? Well, it's only worth what somebody is willing to give in exchange for it. And my wife, who owns this, she determines the value. So the owner of something determines the value, and the value is set by what somebody is willing to give in exchange for it. And you think about humanity. What makes humanity worth something? What makes us feel that worth, like the songwriter says? Is it just our chemistry, just the physical sense of who we are? Is it just the carbon and hydrogen and nitrogen in our bodies that make us worth something? Not really. If you were to boil the body down, it's mostly water. It'd be worth about $20. What about the rest of the creatures in the world? They're made of material things. Here's one of my favorite creatures, and I love it. They come into our house, and they love to feel the warmth of our home. But there are other members of my household that cruelly take these things and throw them out in the snow. These really cool creatures. And what makes us more valuable than this insect? What makes us more valuable than dolphins or cats or dogs that we put higher on the value scale when it comes to creatures and animals? Some say it's because we are conscious creatures that makes us valuable, makes us different. But there are a lot of creatures that have consciousness. Now, I understand humanity has a self-awareness that is far and away higher than the other animals in the created order. But if our value is based on our consciousness, does that mean that our value plummets when we go to sleep? or when someone's under anesthesia or in a coma. No, our value is placed in something that can't be touched, and that is the image of God in each and every one of us. It's not our chemistry. And if the world was just chemistry, if all there was the periodic table of elements, then we really wouldn't be worth that much. But this atheistic songwriter got it right. When Jesus showed up, now I can feel valuable. What makes a human valuable? It's not our chemistry. It is the imprint of the image of God on each person. Our founding fathers said that we are created, all men are created equal. Now, we're not equal in stature or intelligence or athleticism. What makes us equal is that we're all created in the image of God. First of all, the owner declares the value of something. Who owns you? God owns you. He owns you by virtue of creating you. None of us are on the planet because we decided that we wanted to be here. But God thought of you even before the foundations of the world were laid. And He saw that you were here. He knit you together in your mother's womb. But then, value is also determined by what someone is willing to give in exchange for you. What was the price paid for you so that you and I could have a restored relationship with our Creator? You and I could walk in the destiny of our creation and the created order. How is it that we were purchased away from sin so that we could be forgiven and that our innocence could be restored? What was the price of that purchase? It was the price of God's Son. Jesus went to the cross and purchased our redemption. How much is Jesus worth? That's how much you're worth. Every one of us, everyone watching this has a Jesus price tag on. That's what it costs to purchase you. No other worldview, no other faith system has the purchase of God Himself to redeem His lost creation and bring us back into that relationship that He created us for. He appeared, and the soul felt His worth. You're priceless to God because it took a priceless cost to purchase you back. All right, I love you guys. Merry Christmas.